You went from shooting weddings to running a business.
Yeah. It went from selling products or selling photos to what do you want and how are we going to bring your vision to life. Before posting something on social media, I would think, what is this photographer that I'm looking up to will think about me? Then one day I was like, who am I doing this for? Not the photographers, but my client. That change came, that mind shift came, and that changed everything.
True.
Everyone can do it. Like even iPhones can take really good photos now.
Yeah.
20 years down the line, when you're sitting down with your children, your grandchildren, what do you want to show to them? The one person that's stopping you from being where you are is yourself. They're like, where do you see yourself in 3 years? And I told him that, I want to make $100,000.
And what's that one thing you would say to them right now?
I'd just say one thing that I heard from Gary Vee. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right in both cases.
So let's start.
Let's start.
Give it a go.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's scale it up then.
100%.
Rob,
Yes.
one thing before we get into this. I want this episode to land with every 25-year-old who is 1 month into the business, into the entrepreneurship, into the founding side of the business, to understand it.
Okay.
So let's make it plain.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. Deal?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
100%. Let's do it.
You went from shooting weddings to running a business.
Yeah.
What was the first move that actually scaled?
The first move that actually scaled was, it was very non-technical thing. So I hang out with a lot of business owners. As they say, you're a product of 5 people that you hang out with. So I hang out with a lot of business owners, and I know I was a freelancer before, but I always wanted to be the business person. And I was just waiting for that change to happen. And well, you have to do your 10,000 hours before you get good at something. So you could think about the first 10,000 hours as me shooting. And then once I was okay with that, I was confident enough to have a system that I could teach to other people. And that's when I started bringing in people working, I wouldn't say for me, but with me. And that was the first scaling bit, that I was able to bring in more people and not just me doing everything. That was the first step into scaling.
But was there a specific moment that you stopped thinking like a photographer and started thinking like a business owner?
Yes, actually there was. I remember this very specifically. So when I first started, like in the photography business journey, what happens is every photographer goes through this. When you're new, you're looking up to like established photographers doing what they're doing and stuff like that. So I went through all of that, and then I got into this mindset where I was doing everything for other photographers. Like I wasn't doing it for them, but their opinions mattered a lot. Before posting something on social media, I would think, what is this photographer that I'm looking up to will think about me? Then one day I was like, who am I doing this for? Not the photographers, but my clients. That change came, that mind shift came, and that changed everything. Like to this day, I don't really care about what other people think, other colleagues, other photographers think about my work, everything. But I do 100% care about what the client's going to think, how they are going to look at everything that I'm putting out. So the shift was thinking like I had my client avatar very defined at that point. So I went from thinking about other photographers to my clients, which was the brides and the grooms.
Of course.
Yeah.
But was there a moment then you stopped selling kind of pictures and started selling an outcome out of that?
That happened very recently, actually. I've been in the business for 8 years. I think it was very much post 2022, 2023.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I spent 5 years where I was still competing with on price, like sending out this. These are my packages, and they would be like, "Oh, someone's offering the same thing for say $5,000, and you're offering us for 6,000." Like it was just price and a lot of conversation about the selling the number of photos for an X amount of
Yeah.
dollars and those kind of things. But after that, like recently, what I realized was that it wasn't about that. It was all about like, what do you want? So now I don't book without talking to the clients. They have to. We have to have a consult call, and it went from selling products or selling photos to what do you want and how are we going to bring your vision to life, and what is going to do. So the way I look at it is, what the service that I'm giving is not the photos.
True.
Everyone can do it. Like even iPhones can take really good photos now.
Yeah.
But I give on the day the experience. I come in with like this person who knows everything and will help you and guide you and make your day easier than making it all about photos. So
Sure.
so the experience is what I'm selling now, and on top of that, I realize how important the photos are, because 20 years down the line, when you're sitting down with like your children, your grandchildren, and what do you want to show to them? Are you going to show them, oh, look how I posed, or look how posed my photos were, or it's going to show the real emotions and the outcome that I'm giving now. So the whole language, the brand language and everything changed over time, and now that's what I stand for and I offer. So people who just want me to come in, take photos, give it to them, and take the money and just forget about it, I don't do that anymore. It's gone into the experience of it and the outcome that you visualize, and that is what I'm bringing on the table. So it's not very clear, as in, oh, 500 photos for $10,000.
Yep.
It's not like that.
Okay.
It's like, okay, what is the experience we're trying to create? Am I going to be there at your after party? Am I going to be hanging out with you when we go on a boat ride with friends 2 days before the wedding? Okay, so for all of this and me coming in, being a part of your friend, so I will be this friend with camera, and X amount, I'll charge X amount to just be there and capture everything.
So I wanted to understand, and this is for every founder within the area that your vicinity that you're working wants to hear right now, that how it actually works. So if you can walk me through how Post Studio actually make money, what does the business model look like right now?
So right now, in the last 6 months, we've scaled from being a New Zealand only brand to an international brand. So now I'm based in Melbourne and Sydney, so I'm in between the two cities. But I'm building the business here in Australia, while the business in New Zealand remains as is. A lot of traveling, which sometimes I enjoy, but when it's too much, I'm like, oh, okay, we need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
But okay, so there's a few branches that have opened up in the last 6 months. So it used to be just wedding photography. And because I have an Indian background, I understand the culture a lot, and I've got a little bit of a unique way of shooting Indian weddings. So what I felt was there was a need to have a separate brand for itself. So Post Studios is still shooting weddings. There's another sub brand which is called House of Ishq, which is shooting just Indian weddings. And again, in Australia and New Zealand. Then there is Pause Media, where we do commercial, and so we create a lot of content for businesses and everything to do not with people but with businesses. is Pause Media. Indian weddings is House of Fish. Western weddings is Pause Studios. And then I've also started now educating newer photographers and helping them scale as well. So that is like a teeny weeny little thing
Okay.
that I'm working on as well.
That's fantastic. I mean, how did you? Okay, it's very interesting. How did you come up with the idea? Because this is something I like, and I get intrigued quite a bit about House of Fish, right?
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name? That's my that's my curiosity.
I mean, look, I don't talk about this too much, but
Yeah.
I have been with my wife now since I was 13. I'm 40 now. That's 27 years.
Wow.
So I am an advocate for love. And inside I'm a little softy. Like when the couples are actually in love, I see that and I try and capture it. And I'm just genuinely, I root for people in love and not just like a partner's love. Like I'll give you this example. I recently, last year I shot a wedding and the bride was very close to her grandfather. And grandfather was, every day I would see him. He was like 90 something. And every time there was like Sangeet and stuff, he was like he wanted to get up and dance, but his body wasn't allowing him. So he would just stand and like shake and just there was a different smile on his face. And then on the reception day, he had a beautiful suit on and he was just sitting in this corner. I was like, Dadaji, come. I took him and took 2 like really nice photos of him. And then that's it, done, reception. I got a message 2 days later from the bride. Like, did you take any photos of my grandfather? I was like, yeah, I did. But in 2 days, I did not give her the whole gallery. She said, after the wedding, he passed away. And that is the photo that's, being used. So, yeah.
Great story.
Yeah.
Amazing story. So, to go into a bit of a numbers in a practical, factual game, give me a real version of this. What does a good month actually look like for the business?
So, firstly, because it's a wedding business, it goes into seasons. So there's 6 months on and 6 months off. Here in Australia and New Zealand, all the weddings happen in summer. So the season starts for me around October, goes until about April. And then from May until August, September, there's not much happening. So I'm really rich for 6 months and then nothing much happens on the other months. To give you a number, did you want like a figure?
If it can, would be great.
It could be 6 figures in a month on a good month.
On a good month, 6
Yeah.
figures in a month.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And how many events does that include?
Well, you could have about 10.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but because I have
And
now
this is the
scaled
full,
it,
of course.
into,
And this is the full-blown events you're talking about, right? Not just one particular event. Or when you talk about event, it's like 4
So I'll
things.
tell you, I'll break it down.
Yeah, break
so
it
say
down.
for example, it's a 6 figure, let's say 100,000 just for.
Yeah.
So that would mean doing maybe 2 Indian weddings and 2 Indian weddings and maybe like 5 non-Indian weddings. So like about 7, 8 events. Yeah.
So overall, in a nutshell, would it be bad of me saying that you stopped selling your time and you started selling what you know?
Yes, 100%. And I joke about it. I was just telling someone last Saturday, now I get paid to talk to people and not photograph them. Just because I joke about it, but it's true. It's about getting the groom to not be nervous. When the bridesmaids have gone and the bride is walking down the aisle, just before that, I've had her hand shaking where I had put down the camera, just held her hand, and that's it. And she's like, okay, I'm ready. That's it. So I get paid now to just be at a wedding as a friend with the camera. That's all it is. But also just adding to that, I have read this in a book. I think I read it in 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, where he talks about time as a currency. So, so you cannot. That just changed my mindset where uh, to not sell time for money anymore.
Sure.
And also, what I try and do is plan my business, design my business around the lifestyle I want, not the other way around.
But
I don't
eventually,
have a lifestyle where it supplements the business. I just grow and build my business to supplement my lifestyle. I just want to spend as much time as with my kid and my wife as I can. So so the business needs to work for me and not me for the business.
interesting. Because most of the people who I speak to, they always tell us that the reason why a business charges is because the time is being invested.
Yeah.
What do you think about that then?
That's true, but doesn't have to be my time.
Okay, that's interesting.
It needs to be man hours, right? It can be
enough.
so like I'll tell you how I'm able to get my time back because of three things. One is AI. So it's been for since it came out, I have been using AI for in the business. It could be for admin work. It could be for photo editing. Just does the basics of it, and then my time has gone from editing a wedding in say 3 weeks to one day. So that's it's not editing for me, but it's doing the manual work, maybe straightening up the lines and stuff like that. And then I still go and check everything, make sure it's okay, do 20% of it, and then because I don't because as they say, 20% of your work is bringing you 80% of your revenue. So that's what I'm working towards. The second thing is I have editors who, again, because video editors, AI cannot do video yet. I mean, it's doing it, but it's not there where I want it to be.
Yeah.
So I've got video editors who do, again, 80% of the work. I finish the 20%, just to make sure it's at the level where Pause Studios want to be and House of Fish wants to be. The third thing is shooters. So now that I have operations in 3 different cities in 2 different countries, I cannot be everywhere at every time. So I have other photographers working for me, other videographers working for me. We are sitting here and there is a wedding happening in New Zealand where a photographer and a videographer is shooting right there. They will upload everything. It'll come to me. It'll go to the editors, and there's a system now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You set it up a process.
Yeah. So there is still time being used, just not my time. So I can do this.
Fair enough. And is there any third thing that you said? Because you said first is the AI,
editors,
second is
AI, and shooters.
shooters.
Those are
Okay,
the
that's
three
the 3 things that
Yeah.
help you do. No, fantastic. And this is what I find, that there's something that I find fascinating about founders that who try to build truly defensible mechanism. And I think this is where you guys are going, is much more on an unconventional level to achieve the scaling that you need to achieve for the business as well. And what I want you to say is every founder right now who is, kind of avoiding the decision, that they have just made it or they're wondering whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
What did you see that everyone missed out?
You mean in my industry?
Yep.
Business first was something that. Let me reframe it. Yes, business first is right, but what I saw was that making $1 million from this in revenue wouldn't be difficult, is what I genuinely feel. But in saying that, I know of photographers like my friends who are still not paying GST because they're making less than in New Zealand, making less than the threshold. But because they're thinking they're happy with it, so no shade to them. One, they're happy with them, and the second is they think that that's what wedding photography is. But for me, I was like, I could scale this into like easily a multi-million dollar business. But also, if I look at everything else that we are looking at, it could be scaled into an 8-figure business as well.
Quite interesting. Did you ever think when you started this journey that this is what you're going to say some days
No.
later?
Oh, there's a story for that. So I was working in a bank, and my manager was like, you know, they do a review every
Yep.
year. They're like, where do you see yourself in 3 years? And I told him that, oh, I want to make $100,000 in 3 years. And in those 3 years, the business made more than my wife and I both were making while working in the bank. And we had both quit the bank jobs on the same day.
Ooh, wow, that's a story. That's a story.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know
Yep.
where things were going, but like, I've read it somewhere. People always underestimate, people always overestimate what they can do in 1 year,
Yep.
and they always underestimate what they can do in a decade. So I guess
That's
what it
interesting.
was.
Well,
Like, think
I
yourself, right?
wonder- yeah.
Where were you 10 years ago?
yeah,
But if you think about last year, you haven't changed much. But if you think about 10 years ago, it's
changed
a
lot.
completely
Oh,
different,
completely
right?
different.
Yeah.
Well, where was I? I was sitting on in a small office, not a huge one. But, sorry, no, I was in a call center actually at
Yeah.
2 degrees. So I remember that pretty well. I was
Yeah.
sitting there expecting my salary to go
Yeah.
somewhere around a decent number.
Yeah.
Never went though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I change that dynamics to now, it is completely different ballgame,
Yeah.
right? So my question is, if you wanted to give me one line in describing why did you go specific in your business, what would that be?
The one thing that I usually try and do is do what you're good at. So I just played on my strengths.
Yeah.
When I started off, I actually started off as a videographer. And then I realized people were not ready to pay. I mean, there's a whole branding debate on that, but just I personally realized that people were not paying for that much for videos as compared to photos. Whereas photos was easier. Like I could get $5,000 for photos, but not be able to get 3,500 for video. And video has 5 times more work. I was like, okay. So then I just pivoted. I was like, I've got the same cameras, I'm doing the same thing, and then let me just do that. So I just leaned into what I'm good at, and just kept it simple. Really,
Yep.
didn't overcomplicate things, because there's a lot in this last 6 months. I have done a lot of thinking about what we want to do and where we want to go. There's like 100 options and you can do everything, but it just all comes down to simplifying things and keeping it simple and just doing what you're good at,
Okay.
and let other people handle the other things.
So you said you thought about where you guys want to scale as a business, right? In
Yeah.
the next few years. Give me 2 things. What are you thinking? What are you guys brainstorming
Right
right
now?
now? Yeah.
Right now, a huge one is the education and the personal branding for myself. Because I do on a regular basis, like I would in a week, I'd have at least 10 people reaching out saying, can you teach me this? What lens did you use? How did you do this photo? Because I put out a lot of content. So they just asked me like how to do this.
Well,
So it's just an opportunity right there, which I just need to channelize and do it properly. So that is one thing, because I just see the opportunity right there. And the second thing is running 4 studios more like a studio, because I'll explain.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is just because I am now charging a little bit higher than average. So not everyone can afford us. And that is by design, because I don't want to shoot 100 weddings. I only want to shoot like 30 weddings a year. So that was by design. But then there are a lot of people who do want the simplicity of it and the system. So what I'm working on is having approved vendors who can go and shoot the wedding, and then and that would be at a more affordable price. But then also they get the Pore Studios system and the colors and everything, the feel of the photos that they're seeing, they still get that. The one thing they don't get is me personally at their wedding. So that experience that I was talking about before,
Yep.
they don't get that.
But you still get
But then-
the
yeah,
quality level.
The quality is still there, the photos, everything's there. Minus Rob himself. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a premium to it. So then that basically allows me to just keep my weddings to 25 to 30.
Yep.
But as a studio, we still do about 100 weddings.
Fair enough.
So that is
And
what we're
eventually you pay for that level of quality. I mean, getting you there, as you said, is one of the experience that you talked about.
Yeah.
That is much more important for them.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
the
there are
gig.
people who have who really want that experience.
Yeah.
And because I go in not as a photographer, but more as a creative director.
Sure.
And I have moved entire backdrops because the sun was in a completely different. So it was meant to be at a different time, and then the sun came up, and now the sun was facing the bride and groom. I was like, "Is it okay if us boys just move this entire thing on the other side?" They're like, "Yeah, do it." So we just flipped the entire backdrop and did it that way.
Yep.
But if it was a photographer, if it was me as a photographer going in, I was like, oh, I'll just shoot it as it is. But now I go in as more of a creative director.
True.
And just do everything to make it.
So if you talk about yourself, what's the line that you draw with clients? Like what's non-negotiable for you then?
It always has something to do with time. Like if you're if you're just don't call me and make me sit for like 2 hours. I would rather spend that time with the family.
Yeah, fair enough.
So a lot of photographers, this is actually a lot of photographers don't realize or don't know the concept of opportunity cost.
Ooh.
Right?
You're going in a direction I've just spoken about on my page, but go ahead.
Okay.
I'm happy to hear that.
No, but see, if I'm sitting, say if your function's starting at 2, you don't call me at 12.
Yeah.
But even if you do, even if you're running late, let us know so we'll come on time. But if I'm sitting there for 2 hours, I could have created and posted a content which could have booked me a $20,000 wedding, right, in those 2 hours. So that $20,000 is now not happening because I'm sitting there waiting for the thing to happen, right? So that is what an opportunity cost is.
That's true.
And a lot of my friend photographers don't understand that and sit there and not say anything.
Yeah. I mean, you said it quite well because I think most of the people don't realize it that, you know, and there's another hindsight to it. You said very, very nicely. The example was great, but I think it also relates a lot of with the time consumption as well. Like people think, you know what, how I treat it as well is people want to think about there will be a time that will come that I'll start the business.
Yeah.
But the time that you take to actually implement that, the gap between that is an opportunity cost, right? You wasted that opportunity gap.
Done is better than perfect.
Absolutely. Done is better than perfect because if you're not doing it at all, forget about getting perfect at any
100%,
stage.
yeah.
You know? So that's quite an industry norm in business. You know, people even think in a normal general business, not just photography itself, which is one of the case, but in general business too. There'll be a time we'll do this. There'll be a time we'll reach out to some people, but there's no time. You just got to do it at then and there.
100%. And remember, like you can always earn more money. You cannot earn more time.
Oh, very well said. Very well said. So what, according to you, and be honest with this, what is the one thing that you would copy and still never replicate?
In business?
Yep.
I don't think... Okay, explain the difference between the copy, a copy and replica.
Okay, so I'll just go back in a bit of and give you kind of understanding of what I think here, and I think it would be better off doing their way. Is everything you've built, you know, someone could spend the next 6 months doing and copying the same thing what you've built, right?
Yeah.
Same structure, same strategy, possibly the same content as well.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you wanted, and if you have that one thing that you believe that even if they do everything that needs to be happening and they still copy everything of your new strategies and everything.
Yeah.
What is that one thing that still differentiates that they will never be able to replicate?
Oh, 100%. I think everyone should copy. 100%. I don't know if you have read, but there's this book called Steal Like an Artist. Very small. You can read it in one sitting. Very easy, small read. Basically, you just like, how do you learn how to cook? You copy a recipe, you do it, and then you cook it. How do you learn how to speak? By copying. It's basic. You just copy. So when someone copies me, I love it. I see a lot. I encourage it. I was like, do it. The one thing that no one can copy is the personality. If I start scaling secrets tomorrow, it would be different. Why? Because I'm doing it and not you doing it.
Yeah.
So that's that. No one can be you, and that is. I feel like that is the biggest differentiator,
Yep.
and that is enough to differentiate. Like, you will copy me, but as soon as you know you've learned that as a human psyche, you're like, okay, how can I make this better, or how can I do something different?
Yeah.
And so I don't think anyone can likes to just keep copying.
Yeah.
The way I do it is, I wouldn't say I have copied and be where I am is because I have copied businesses, I have copied how to do things, I have copied everything, right? The better way is getting inspired. So whatever we're building, wherever we are, it's all the result of copying someone. But why are we still different? And that's literally because of the personality that you put into it.
But if you talk about yourself and the people out there,
Yeah.
what's the one thing that you do that most people simply wouldn't be willing to do it?
Wouldn't be willing to do it. Oh, yeah. Actually, taking a lot more responsibility of basically, I at the moment, what is happening is, and that is also because of the markets that we were in, especially in New Zealand. New Zealand wedding market doesn't have a lot of wedding planners. There are, but very few. So I basically am a wedding planner at the wedding, and my reasoning to do that is my photos look better if I plan their wedding. Smallest things like what shade of light do you need to be on the LEDs, because that casts like a tint on your skin. Small things like that. How dim or bright does the chandelier needs to be at a certain time? When does the DJ start their light? Do we need, which side is the stage front? I talk about everything, which has nothing to do with photography. And I don't know of any other person who does it. There would be, definitely. I'm not the only person, but I don't personally know of a lot of people who would be doing. They'll be like,
I
oh,
wish you were in India doing my wedding, mate. I mean, but yeah, no.
but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I get
these
it. I get it.
things-
It's an experience that you get not just from one part of the project. It's the overall project that's been looked after.
Yeah,
Just because you got that one thing.
exactly. Like right now, it's daytime. We don't need these lights to be on.
Yeah.
But I would be like, nah, let's turn those lights on. Let's turn the ceiling lights off.
Yeah.
That's just simple things like that. But I just go in and even if they don't want me, I would do that. I was like, okay, let's do it. And most 99.9% of the people appreciate it.
That's it.
Like on Saturday, I was at Mantles, Mount Eden, and the groom's dad came to me, and I had done, I did family photos from there for them before that. He's like, oh, I loved how you asked me to put my hand in my pocket and just take the walk. I love that photo. Like I just did that, and like move him from one spot where he wanted the photos. I did that, and then I was like, let's do it here.
True.
So those little things,
Small things.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't care about it. As photographers, a lot of people don't care. Like, okay, let's just do it. It's just family photos. Let's just do it. But
So from a mindset of people, right? I mean, if you wanted to put and compress the whole topic that we spoke about right now, and put it in one line, what would that be about the copying thing? So You said about personality.
Yeah.
But if you want to put everything that we spoke about in terms of the copying, the personality, the fine details, if you want to put it out in a one line for people out there,
Yeah.
that you know what, copy as much as you want.
Yeah.
But
Okay. If you were to put it in one line, I'd say don't copy from one person, copy from 5 people, and make something of your own.
so keep watching, keep discovering outside your
Yeah.
aspect.
And maybe the 6th person can be yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like just talking to ChatGPT so much, we are just becoming, everyone's doing the same thing. But sometimes in the last month, I had no time to actually do any brainstorming and stuff. And everything I've been doing was just like back in the day when we were not talking to ChatGPT so much.
Yep.
And then I've been doing some things where like, oh, this works, and this has worked better
Yeah.
than actually running it through an AI engine.
Well, that's weird results coming out of AI, right? I mean, it's a
Yeah.
different ball game when you start talking about AI.
Yeah.
Last one, Rob.
Yeah.
Right? One thing, one secret, something you headed to for a founder, who's getting started, who's out there grinding himself. That's a first month, second month, everything he's doing to prove himself right now. And today is the day he needs to hear something from you.
Yeah.
Right? What is that one scaling secret you're leaving here with our audience?
I think the one person that's stopping you from being where you are is yourself. There's no one else who's not. There's no one else who's stopping you from growing. There's no. It's just you and in your head. If you think you can do it, as we saw before, if you think you can grow and be where you want to be, you can. And if you think no, you're not ready, yes, you're right. You're not ready. It's just you stopping yourself. And the second thing just behind that is just remember there is no one coming to help you. If you want to do something, you have to get up and do it. There's literally no one coming to help. Yes, there will be, but like you may get some help, but that if you just don't expect help. You want to be somewhere, change your mindset and work towards it, you can be there. But if you expect other people to come, like your podcast, if you expect other people to come and set up cameras, other people to do everything, it's not going to happen. But if you just do it and they see you doing it, they'll be like, oh, let me come and help.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rob, one camera, one skill, 4 businesses, 2 countries, and every single decision is a decision, not by an accident. Thank you everyone for watching us today. Thank you for each and every one of following our content. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. See you in the next episode of Scaling Secrets.